Oh shit, I got it wet. Okay.
Like what?
That's what he said.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay, yeah, welcome back.
Nice start to the episode 20.
2020.
I started writing it down so we're not always like, wait, what episode are we on? That's why I'm writing it down.
The only reason we know now is because we're just getting right into the next episode.
Exactly. We just did 19
one.
and
that's why we are in the same outfits.
Yeah.
But that's what we had planned on doing today. Making at least 2, maybe 3. We'll see.
Exactly.
The day is long. The night is young. Whatever.
Yeah, something like that. We have time.
Yes. So, of course, always thinking about, hey, you know, what do we want to dive into this episode? So, I thought it would be, what's the word I'm looking for? To the last episode of what we were talking about, the quiz from your friend Denise, and the things that we need to work on. Friendship after healing.
Right.
Outgrowing people, loneliness during growth, finding safe connections. That's kind of what this episode is going to be. So
as long as we don't go off on a tangent.
From the last episode of relationship recoveries and setting boundaries, that's, you know, what is this? We both need to work on.
I know. I was like, and that really...
We're 2 peas in a pod, girl.
Exactly, man.
The fuck? Okay. So I want to start off by with saying, like, and I'm probably going to start crying. So it just kind of happened. So we worked together.
Right.
We were besties at work. We didn't have much contact outside of work.
No.
And I think we just like...
I think I don't even think we really wrote each other that often, right? I mean, it was like every once in a while we would write something over WhatsApp, but the majority of the contact... Sorry. We have not had anything to drink. I was like thinking German and how do I get it out in English? Anyway, the majority of the time, our contact was at work, like you said. No, we were like work besties, right?
So when I just remember the day I came in, I'm like, girl, I just got fired. You're like, what? And you're like,
I thought you were, and so it was it Halloween?
Yeah, it was the 31st
right?
of October.
It was Halloween.
It was Halloween.
I thought you were like doing like an April Fool's Halloween.
It's April Fool's. It's Halloween.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it was like, you know, because it was Halloween, and I was like, she's fucking pulling my leg, right? And you just like grabbed your shit and left, and I was like, and I saw you drive out the parking lot, and I was like, she's really wait, what? You know? Yeah. So,
but
like, that was crazy.
Yeah, like you were there for me.
Yeah.
Like after I got fired, and
I was fucking shocked. And I know when you left, the owner came into the office, and I was like, "Did you really just fire Jennifer?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can I ask why?" You know. And then so he told me his line, right? And we know that's bullshit, but anyway. Yeah, and so I just remember thinking, like, the whole day I couldn't get you off my mind, and I was just like, fuck. Like,
I know you know. I think you.
And
we'll go back in the conversation for a year.
I sent you a WhatsApp. I think I sent you a voice message, right?
Like pretty much right after.
Because I was like, this is like too long. I can't like text all this shit out, you know. I was like, I gotta send her a voice message, and then we basically like voiced back and forth the whole weekend, and that like set the foundation, I guess, if you will, for what we have now. So right?
Yeah, that's just like so. After I don't even know like when you say like, okay, what's the reason why, you know, like I started working there. So because you know we met each other. You're like, are you American? I'm like, yeah. And you're like, what the fuck, you know?
I know. I will never forget that. Like, replay the scene in my head. We're both sitting in the EMS studio and speaking German, and I'm like, this accent, man. No, you know. And I'm like, where are you from? You know, and you're like, Iowa, and I'm like, what? You know. Like, why are we speaking German?
So then we started speaking English at work. Yeah. So like, I'm pretty sure I don't know if I've ever actually really said thank you, but you were really a really big, you were a really big help for me after I got fired, because like, after that, I was really questioning my whole fucking life, you know, like decisions up until that point. Well, like in the um, working there and everything, and just something
It,
that
I remember you questioning everything, like your whole existence, like, and God, I'm sure it didn't hurt me as bad as it hurt you, but it hurt me pretty bad, just thinking, how can someone be so fucked up and hurt someone in this manner where you're even questioning your own existence? You know what I mean?
I was out there asking any and everybody, did I freaking harass you? Did you say something? I was also questioning, and even everybody's like, if they have ulterior motives. Oh, I can't trust them. I even said at one point, "Dude, girl, I don't even know if I can really trust like you." But it wasn't. It
Right.
wasn't because I wasn't saying it you in general. It was just like because I was questioning everything.
Right.
I don't know. It took 5 days to actually get up out of that. But after that, I was just like, fuck this shit, you know? Um, so we're out here already,
Yeah,
crying.
we got. I got tissues at least. There's tissues.
I know. I don't need tissues, girl. I'm not crying.
She don't have mascara on. That's why she's not needing tissues.
But
I'm trying.
like
I'm
you
here
said,
trying to look all pretty still.
that was the start at the beginning of
It was the
like
beginning of the end.
of a relationship that I didn't even know that I guess I needed.
Well,
But
for me, it was a relationship that I didn't know could exist.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I have never. I've had a couple of best friends. We've discussed this before
yeah.
offline.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never had a relationship like I have with you with another woman, you know? And I didn't know that a relationship like this could exist, you know?
Yeah, but
I don't even have this relationship with my own sister, what you and I have. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no, but I love relationships. We support each other. There's no competition.
yeah,
There's no
definitely.
like jealousy. If you go, girl, you got out there and got that job at Chibo, and I think it's an awesome job. And I'm over here like I don't have a job, but I'm not jealous because you got a job. I mean, there's a reason why I'm not actually working right now. It's because of trying to go
Right.
back to school and stuff. But once that also gets all figured out, I'll be out there fucking getting a job too.
And then I'll
you know?
be bitching like, "Why are you always in school, man? I want to talk to you."
Or this is no bueno for
That's
me
no
because
bueno, man.
right now because you can't have your phone at work
Right.
and you work maybe 4 or 6 hours and I'm like my phone's so silent right now.
I
But
know.
like so like going out here friendships after healing. And one of the things I know that I know this friendship is gonna last is because this is a friendship that's happened outside of, after my healing of after healing from also at a time where you were also had a best friend. That
Mhm.
relationship wasn't really hadn't been
What I had hoped it would be, or yeah,
and I
it
had
was
also
like
ended a
going
15
downhill.
year best friend relationship with my ex bestie, my like 15 years because when those things on Instagram where you're like I never had to ask you to be the friend that I needed. It was just you
Mhm.
understand and and that's what you are. I don't have to ask. You know what I mean? There's all
Yeah.
these things you just
Yeah, I
like,
think
I never had to ask her to be.
I'm always, and I'm still. I mean, we haven't been like besties that long, but still, it just
Yeah, we did. We were
amazes.
burned at the stake
Yeah,
in
well, yeah. I mean,
1692.
we
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We've been besties over several lifetimes, is what we figured
Exactly.
out, right? Um, is what was I going to say? Something in my eye, no.
Tears, girl.
My
tears.
eyeball. Anyway, that was one of my dad's jokes, right? Yeah, it's your eyeball. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, it's just that, like, I mean, for me, it's like, so I am. This is just my personality, and this is very typical Aquarius. If I'm there for you, I'm there for you, and it doesn't matter what. You know what I mean? I could be like on vacation, and you could be like, I need you, and I'll be like, I'm there as soon as I can get there. You know what I mean? Or like I laughed when you told me about your dream.
Oh, with the baseball
Right?
bat?
Like I was like coming after somebody with a baseball bat, you know. I was like, yeah, she gets it, you know. But that's very me, and I know that most people are not like me. You know what I mean? Most Aquarians are not like me, and you're not an Aquarius, but you're a January baby, and still, like when I needed you to be there, like especially like when my mother-in-law passed away, I didn't even have to ask you to be there. You know,
I was like, God, tell me when.
yeah, you
tell
were
me when
like,
the
you know, when's the
funeral is.
funeral? You know, I'll be there for you. And I mean, just, you know, like with the whole process and stuff, you know, and that for me was a really big deal because my ex bestie, right? I think she texted me when this happened, and I mean, she was like going through her own whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she didn't even come to the funeral, right? Um, so that for me was like, yeah, this was like the right decision to not continue this. I mean, you know, we still see each other, but there's not like,
And she does not like me.
you know, yeah, she doesn't like you. I don't know why.
I met her. I was invited to come over because you were grilling a couple
Right.
weeks ago, and yeah, I did not get a very warm welcome.
Yeah.
Like, I know she doesn't like me, and I know for reasons I get it, I understand, but she needs to understand also from your side of why because you needed to protect yourself, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's there's some circumstances that of why, you know, what happened and everything, on her part, or, you know, of her side, but also to be able to say, okay, but I need to step back because I need to protect myself.
Right.
It has nothing also to do with you. It has to do with me. I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting
Right.
me, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I think too
Because it's hurting me as well, because
Right.
you're not you because of your situation you can't be there for me.
Right.
Understanding that, but still it still sucks.
Right. Well,
It's still
I mean,
in the end you can still say, you know, even though I understand the situation, it still sucks
I mean,
for me.
you could still say, well, and again, this is just me being myself. If it had been me, I would have been like, hey, you know, I'm not in a good place right now, or I'm not feeling good. I can't come, but if you need somebody to talk to, call me, text me, whatever, I'm there. And that wasn't the case, right? Like, and I mean, and I told you all this started last year when she got really sick, and I asked her, what was going on, or she had been to the doctor, and her response was, "You don't need to worry about me and be asking about me all the time." And for that, to me, was a big slap in the face, you know. And I even asked my husband about it because I was like, "Am I taking this like too personally, or you know?" Am I taking this the wrong way? And he was like, she said, what? And I was like, yeah, that was her response. I was like, I could even play you back the message, you know. I mean, her text was, you don't need to be, or her voice message was, you know, oh, you don't need to be worrying about me all the time and be checking on me every day. And I was like, okay. You know, like, if that's the case, then you ain't got to tell me twice. You know, I mean, still have problems with relationship recovery, but I tell you, when somebody tells me, fuck you and fuck off, and I'm gone, dude.
So,
you know what I mean? Like, I am not the little girl anymore who's like, oh, please, please. But no, that part of me is gone, has been healed, has been killed off. I don't know what the right word is.
So
you know?
that's going to be going into, and I'm sure we've said this a couple of times on some of our on episodes of our podcast, of being back in the day a people pleaser, you know, and that's what I used to be.
Yeah,
and
because I know before, I know I would have immediately been texting, what's going on, why are you saying, why don't you want to have contact with me? And this time I was like,
okay,
alrighty then. You know, you don't want to have, I don't need to be worried about you. I don't know. then, and since then, I have just like not, bothered.
Well, it was at some point where she hadn't been coming also because you do meet up once. Well, basically with your husband.
Right, because her husband and my husband they went to school together and they've been friends
and they
for
would
a
meet
long
up
time.
every once on the weekend and eat together dinner. And she at some point in time she had stopped coming.
Right.
And you still went, and now she's coming again.
Right.
She's feeling better, getting better, and she's coming to dinner again.
It depends.
And like even yesterday. So, and that's something else. If this would have been a couple years ago, if we would have been best friends, and you would have told me, yeah, okay, well, she's there, she's coming again, that would have totally threw me off. I'd be like, I mean, I know I texted you yesterday, but I've been like texting you the whole time because you're like, hey girl, I'm going to dinner, I'll text you when I get home. Mm-hmm. For me, it was like, okay, cool, I know she's going to dinner, she's going to be on her phone. 2-3 years ago, I'd have been like, girl, what's up? I would have been like,
what are y'all talking about?
No, but like I would have been searching for that like, okay, like, oh, okay, she's at dinner. I know she's at dinner, but still trying. And I didn't even know if you were still at dinner when I wrote you, because I was like, oh yeah, what? Wait a minute, what time are we going to meet tomorrow?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I could have waited until a couple hours to write.
Dude, it was all good. It actually came at like the perfect time because there was like silence on this side of the table, and my husband and her husband were talking. So, it was a good distraction.
No, I would have been like, that like having an anxiety. Okay, she's at dinner with her, and I would have been like, trying to send you stuff, make sure okay,
right.
and
sending like little memes or something.
But now I'm secure, and I'm secure with myself.
Right.
You have to start with yourself first.
Yeah.
And so I'm secure with myself, and I'm secure in knowing that we're best friends.
Right.
And you've told me plenty of times that we're best friends and nothing's gonna rock this.
No, I get it because I catch myself every once in a while when you're like last weekend. Was it last weekend when you were at the party?
Sunday,
right?
The birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. And I was like,
yeah, because I was at the Mm-hmm.
And then stop being stupid. You know what I mean? So it's still there a little bit on my side, but like you say, like I'm secure enough, 99.99% of the time. It's like contraception. That I know we're best friends and we're good, and nobody's like gonna come between us. And if they do, I'll just take them out the way, and be like,
where's that baseball bat?
Chokehold, exactly. It's hanging on my bed. That's so funny. I have a baseball bat next to my bed, right?
So I had a dream last week.
That's funny that because I don't even know if I had mentioned that to you. So when you mentioned the dream, I was like, did I tell her I keep a baseball bat next to my bed?
I just had a dream, and there was 3 of us, so I don't know who the other person was. And you had a baseball bat, and there was a guy there. I mean, of course, I asked Mr. Chad about it, and blah blah blah. But like, you were like, you had grabbed your baseball bat and you smacked him, and you're like, run! And we were running, but he ended up catching. I don't know why, how me, but and how sometimes in a dream you can't run.
Right.
So
with me, it's always a cat scream.
Me too.
I don't know.
And you try to scream, and nothing comes out.
Nothing comes out. Yeah.
And you keep trying, and nothing comes out.
Yeah. That's weird. I need to analyze that.
Mr. Chet said something about that, like not
being
able to run. Like you could run,
right.
But in your dream you're like slow motion, not getting anywhere. Like and then like keep coming, and you're like, how are they catching up with me? I'm running.
Right.
But so like going here in this point of outgrowing people, and I was talking to my other friend when we went out.
You have another friend?
Mm-hmm. I do have a couple. So like
she has lots of friends.
No, I do.
You have lots of friends.
I have. Well, yeah, but like I want to say people that I know. And when I see them and I hang out with them, maybe I don't have that much contact with them outside of this, other being friends with other, having acquaintances together, knowing people together. But when you do see them, you're like, and you're happy to see them and chit chat with them.
No, I'm just like, hey.
But my group has gotten smaller. You know, like
Right.
I only need right now, and I mean, and this goes out with loneliness during growth. This is the other point. So that means my phone is silent
Right.
sometimes because you're working, or you know, you're out at dinner, or you know, like I'm out, like I do have a very select people. I mean, counting like my finger, you know, with one hand, like the people that I actually have contact with right now. Because like I think I've already said that in the other episode that you know we had a girls group and I have
Right.
removed myself from this group because I feel like I have, for more than anything, the main point was because my ex best friend is in this group and I do not want to have contact with her anymore.
Right.
I had every time I knew the meeting was coming, we're gonna meet up for girls' night. I had anxiety because I had to see her, and I don't want that. I should not have to have
Right.
anxiety going into meeting friends, you know, the other people there, having contact with her, having to try and give me a hug.
Right.
Where I said, no, thank you. And she's like, yeah, well, you know, like, that's your decision. I'm like, yeah, I just fucking told you my decision.
Right.
I don't want to touch you. I don't want your hug. I don't feel like you're going to tell me. You don't want to have contact with me, but we can still see each other, you know.
Right.
Either you
Yeah.
want to have contact with me or you don't. It's not this in between shit. Not for me anymore. No,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So this is me outgrowing you right now. This is me setting my boundary. And this is also me saying no to here and not. So if you can't have contact with me outside of the group, then you're not gonna have contact with me at all.
Right.
In the Galinda.
In the calendar.
So that would mean the end of the staircase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else, and now I just, because I said in the Galinda.
Got yourself off track.
Yeah. Yeah, just saying like this is something that if this would have happened 3 years ago. Oh no. So I was actually talking to my friend. Her birthday party was on Sunday, but we had met up on Saturday and went to the crystal shop, the bookstore, bookshop, whatever. Because her mentor was there. Really great day. Anyways, I was telling to her, I was like, the thing is, my ex-best friend had been trying to tell me for at least the year 2025 last year that she wasn't my best friend, but I wasn't getting the hints. But she couldn't come out directly and tell me that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of just giving little hints, she should have come out and said, hey, at one point in time she did, and this was pretty much the beginning of the end, where she had told me, I don't feel connected to you anymore.
Right.
And that's fine. It's you know, people do outgrow people. People outgrow friendships. It's okay. But had she had told me this, you know, at the beginning of the year when things had started getting, you know, a little rocky for us.
Right.
Yeah. And this is in any relationship. If nobody tells you anything, first of all, maybe you can't, you're not going to be able to change if that's what, you know, if it's something that needs to be done.
Right.
If it's your attitude, if it's your drinking, if it's anything, you know, if you're something that you can do if you want to do and say, okay, you know, maybe I can improve, not even change, but, you know, maybe I can improve my whatever it is, you know. And you're thinking that's where you're supposed to be. You're thinking the relationship is solid and it's good, and you know, maybe it's a little rough patch right now, but you know, we'll work through it, which I had thought, you know, after our conversation we were going to, but then whole other shit came to where at the end it was shitty for her.
Right.
And this is also then confirmation for me that she fucking fucked up.
Right.
She went down a path that she thought was right, didn't care about anybody else but herself, and in the end she lost.
Right.
If she feels that way or not, I don't know. That's how I see it. This is my perspective on the whole situation. And I don't want to have contact with her anymore. I don't want to go back to a relationship where I felt that it was at the end, you know, me giving and putting effort into it that wasn't being
Reciprocated.
um, and that's okay. It's really honestly okay.
Mm-hmm.
But be have some fucking balls and say it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, I'm just not feeling. You know, instead of her saying, you know, actions speak louder than words.
Right.
But her saying everything's okay, but the actions are not meeting what
Yeah.
she's saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think too, like looking back on my relationship with my ex best friend, um I see now how she is with everybody, and she was and still is the same way with me, and she's best friends with everyone. And I think when I met her, because I didn't have a best friend or any female friends to speak of, it was something in me longing for
yeah,
this relationship.
uh-huh,
You know what I mean? And so
yeah,
I took her actions, her words to heart and thought, yeah, we are best friends. You know? I mean, we even have, we have the same tattoo because we're best friends. Right?
I also have a tattoo.
I think it's time for a cover up. But anyway,
I thought about that pretty much the second I said we're not, you know,
right. So
is it raining? No, is the relationship?
No.
I was like, yeah. We had actually gotten this tattoo because we said, you know, if anything ever did, it
that's
would
another thing we have in common. We both have bestie tattoos, and we're not even besties with them anymore. But so
I mean, I don't feel like this tattoo is anything bad. I like it still.
that's
but
one of the reasons that when we decided to get this, because I designed this, I was like, I want something that if something happens and we're not best friends, I wouldn't mind having it on my body. You know what I mean? And I've already thought of ways to like change it up so it's different. You know,
I'd have to have like a total cover up.
yeah, you'd have to do a total cover up. But I have figured out already how I'm gonna change it.
But
so
then
it's
I
not
have
the same.
the only thing is I have this tattoo, but she drew up for me, and that's something I'm never gonna change.
Right.
And if I see that and then look at that, I also
it's
know
also a reminder.
she drew it up. You know, it did get changed a little bit. So if I can take this, then but this is different than this was best friend tattoo. This was like hers is on the, you know,
right.
and this is something that she drew up for me. So I feel like it's a different situation. One of the things that I would really was like because I was telling my other friend, I was like, dude, I went through like pretty much everything out that she had given me. And I don't know if that was because of the anger or what, but you know, she gave me like a coffee mug where it says, you know, Jennifer and her name, and then, you know, which she portrayed me with having black hair. I'm like, bitch, you don't even know what color hair I have because I don't have black hair.
It must be a German thing because my husband thinks my hair is black too, and I'm like, it's dark brown, and he's like, yeah, whatever, it's black.
But I took that cup, I was, and I fucking smashed it, like break it, and then put it in the trash can. Things, you know, that she, you know, we've throughout the relationship have given each other. A lot of it's in the trash can and gone now.
Yeah, and that was so. That's why I say, like, looking back and seeing her now, like how I see her now, I see that it is my mistake. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
mistake in what? Being her friend? Or thinking...
in thinking that we were best friends.
Okay. Because she was best friends with everybody.
Right. Because and she's still best friends with everybody. Okay. You know? So I have a story. We were at the dealership where I bought my motorcycle, and they happened to be with us because I hadn't bought the motorcycle yet, right? And they went with us.
You mean your first motorcycle or
no,
this
the one I have now?
Okay.
Right? And so we were at this dealership, and the owner took us into like the
office?
No,
back the
Werkstatt.
Oh, the garage?
Yeah, in the garage where they were working on bikes and stuff, right? Because he was going to show us something. And so there working in the garage was an older man that they know. And we saw him, and she went around the motorcycle where he was working and gave him a hug. I shit you not, 2 hours later, we were sitting somewhere else in a cafe, having coffee, and somebody else we knew was there, and so we were sitting down talking, and she tells them that this dude in the garage came around the workbench to give her a hug. And I remember looking at my husband, and he looked at me, and I had like this question mark on my face, but I didn't say anything. And then when we were alone later, I was like, I have to ask you about this scene. Did I remember that wrong, or did it happen like I think it happened? And he was like, no, it happened like you thought it happened. He was like, I was wondering too, like why she told everybody. He came and gave her a hug.
Like he's the one who saw her and was
Like,
like, oh,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's like not how it went down. So that's just an example. Like, and that happens. Now I know I was getting the chills. Look, it's raining.
Now it's raining.
That happens often. Like, you know, like anybody she sees, they're like her best friend, you know.
She's known him for years.
And yeah, she's known him for years.
And they're so happy to see her every
exactly.
time.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's just how she is. But I did
what
not
would be
realize that
why
when
would it be
I
different if she was like, I went
her.
to him and gave him a
You know?
hug? Like, what, it's just, what does that make it
Because
different?
then she's not in the spotlight.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
She's
That's
like,
why, because she has to be in the
what
spotlight.
is she?
She's a Scorpion.
Ah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah. So that's why I said. I mean, this was my mistake.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But I understand now that it was because I was looking for what was missing, and what was missing was you, but you weren't there yet. You came later.
No, I'm
you know what I mean?
I'm not ever.
And my husband says too, like,
Yeah.
because like at the beginning when her and I first became friends, of course we met through our husbands, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was riding motorcycle with her husband, so we had a lot of common, right? And my husband says, you've outgrown. He tells me I've outgrown her. He's like, you guys don't have anything in common anymore. He often talks about you, and he's like, Jennifer fits you much better. You know, he's like, not just because we're both American, because we both speak English. He's like, you guys have so much more in common. He's like, and your energy is the same. And I'm telling you, he's a witch. But anyway, that's what he says. He's our energy matches.
Yeah.
He's like, her energy is like way down here, and mine is like way up here. He's like, you're too much for her. You know. He's like, but you and Jennifer, you guys go together really well. You know.
Yeah. That's
so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know.
But like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to sit here and say like me and my ex best friend had a really good best friend relationship in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it happened last year where it kind of started. You know.
Right.
And like you say, you outgrow people, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We just weren't on the same page, which I don't think, if you have a different opinion of than somebody else, doesn't mean that you still can't, you know, agree to disagree.
Right.
Sorry, I'm not the same opinion as you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, cool, whatever. Let's just move on and, you know, enjoy life. But like, you know, like one of those like, her learning also to say no, her people please, you know, her also going on her own journey. But I think, my opinion, and I'm not gonna, you know, was it was too harsh, too much, too strict. In my of course you want to be it about you, you know, self-care, me days, spa, you know, I'm taking care of myself, but in a way that doesn't what's the word I'm looking for, like egoistic, being egocentric, whatever, the word I hear, like being you know what I mean, about like that's what I thought, like it was like, yeah, but you know, I want to do this is for me, this me, you know, not gonna fucking say anything. We all, you know, need to work and have our own time for me.
Yeah, but I think it's different. I think it's different when you're doing self-care, and I think it's different when you are constantly in the spotlight. and needing the
Well,
spotlight
that's
on
you
you.
from your
You know what I
ex.
mean?
That wasn't her, but hers was
Being like,
yeah.
it's all about me, it's all about me. But yeah, but I think this is how I say, when somebody is, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's because they want the spotlight.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
it's all about me, it's all about me, it's only about me.
Like if you're telling a
you know.
story and they're like, yeah, but like, oh my god, and then like they try to top your story,
Right.
and instead of saying, oh yeah, I have a similar story or that happened to me, and maybe leave it at that or something, instead of like, yeah, they're gonna tell the story, but their story is like,
Right.
this guy came around the corner and hugged me instead, you know.
I have a great example. So last time we were at dinner.
Last night?
Yeah. Last night.
Was it last night or
Yeah.
the night?
No, it was last.
Oh, well, because the last
night.
time we were here together, I was here.
Yeah, no, it was last night. We went to the new Italian place, right? Or for us, new Italian place.
Yeah.
And the food was good. We all liked what we ordered, right? And my husband made the comment to her, "You're doing really well now. You know, you look good. It seems like everything's doing really, going really well for you." And she goes, "No, not really." Like, what's wrong with you now? You know what I mean? She can't just say, "Yeah, I'm doing really good." She has to refocus. You know what I mean? Like the attention was already on her, but she couldn't take it like, she couldn't say, "Yeah, I'm doing really good," and just leave it at that. No, not really, not really.
Why? What's wrong?
I have another. No, we didn't even have to ask what was wrong.
I know.
We got told what was wrong.
But that's what she's wanting. Like, oh, you're not doing well. What happened?
We didn't even have to ask. No, not really. I have another doctor's appointment, and the doctor said that this is chronic. I'm always going to have this, and it's going to come and go, and I have to take medicine every day. And then the mood was just like, you know what I mean? Like totally down after that. And then my husband and her husband started talking about something else, and then you texted me, thank God, and I was like, oh!
Sorry, I gotta answer this. It's
know,
work.
Yeah. I didn't even say anything. I just, I was just like sitting there, like, and I don't want to I don't want to seem like I'm, it's not that I'm heartless. I mean, I am, but, it's just that it's every single time we're together, this gets brought up. How she has.
Well, wasn't it like when you were telling her also about you got a new job at Chibo, and then also it was like, okay, but let me get the spotlight back on me.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even get to finish telling my story.
Like,
that's why, like when she's around, I don't even try to tell stories anymore. I just listen, and if she has something to say, I'm like, oh yeah, all right, cool. Because I know as soon as I try to tell a story, it's going to get automatically redirected, and I'm either not going to get to finish telling my story, or I'll still get to finish telling my story, but then they'll come from her side a story that's even bigger and brighter and better. Or worse, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So I don't even try anymore. When we go to dinner, I basically am just going to dinner to have food
to eat. Yeah.
So
this is we're getting we're outgrowing people, and that's okay, right? Because that that's life.
Yeah.
But I'm saying so finding safe connections, and this is where I think our relationship comes in. We were both so you're like, oh my god, but every time we are talking something about each other, because we're still learning about each other, because we haven't known each other that long. Oh my gosh, we also have that in common. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, my dad's name is Michael. Your brother's name's Michael. You have an Uncle Dale. I have an Uncle Dale.
Right. You lived in Texas. I live in Texas.
We could have actually crossed paths in San Antonio somewhere.
In SeaWorld.
Hey, the fuck, bitch.
I know, seriously.
We could have sat next down on the same ride. You could have been behind me, you know? What the fuck, And
we could have passed each other on a lazy river.
Our paths could have crossed back then, but we didn't notice each other.
Exactly.
And so what? 6,000 fucking miles away, then we meet each other? Yeah. Then we see each other?
I know.
But in the same place as me of you're having, a rocky thing with your ex-best friend. I was having, but
I remember even so when we first connected, really connected after you got fired, because I know we had talked occasionally at work about our ex best friends and how things were
Well, she
like
was
not
still actually my best friend.
exactly,
then.
but we had talked a couple of times about how things were not like smooth, that things were rocky, like you
Yeah,
said.
I don't remember you telling me a lot about your ex best friend, like what was going on with her.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then so when we actually like really connected, I remember you basically putting an end to the relationship with her, and I remember specifically you saying, I'm not sure I will ever have a best friend again. And at the time, I never thought anything about it because I was like, dude, yeah, I get it.
I know how you
I
feel.
get it. I know how you
Yeah.
feel, you
Yeah,
know? I'm
yeah.
like, because when I made the decision that with my ex best friend that I was not going to call her my best friend anymore, um, I was like, maybe I'm just not meant to have a best friend.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm just
I was like, maybe
it's too much of a fucking hassle.
exactly.
And, like, why can't, like, for me, it was like, because, like I said, I never had to ask you to be there for me. You were,
Right,
and it's the same for you. Like, your mother-in-law passed away, and I was like, girl, when's the funeral? Let me be there if you need anything. It wasn't even a question for, it was like, that's for me what best friends do. Not even best friends, like.
Right. Dude, I remember when we got the news, because we were still on holiday, right?
Exactly.
When I got the news, my first inclination was, oh my God, I have to send Jennifer a voice message, And I don't even remember if I was already crying or not, but I remember you sending me a voice message back and you were like, oh my God, I'm going to cry, or,
Yeah.
you were there and you were feeling it with me, and and then when we landed and I told you she had actually passed or whatever, and you were like, when's the funeral, I'm there, and I was just like, wow, and that's when I knew we were best friends.
But and I'm not gonna say just but I do that. For me that's just like a standard in a friendship, even if I'm not my best friend in a close relationship.
Right. Oh, I remember a few months later, one of your other friends lost somebody. I can't remember if it was her mom or her grandma or was it Jamie?
Yes, her father.
Right, or okay, it was her dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were there too for her for the funeral, And
We weren't even actually. We had kind of, grown apart too. But I was just like, dude, no, I'm there because I know exactly how she feels right now because my father had passed away. The year before, almost a year to the T.
Right.
She had lost her mother like 5 years ago, but I was like, no, like. And she said to me how much she appreciated that I was there for her on that day.
Right.
And I'm like, that's just for me a standard. When you lose somebody,
right.
you want to have that support from. I mean, I wasn't the only one there. There was also other people there from her family, but also her friends.
Right.
And you need that. And I feel like in this moment, you need a support for that. To be able to. When you needed to, when I just remember coming into that whatever it's called, and you were telling me, and you just
chapel thing.
you just let it out, and that's why I was like, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you need somebody just to be able to be like,
yeah,
and let everything fall and just fucking cry, or and
feel the emotion.
And that's why I was like, when you tell your best friend that your father passed away, and all she says is, "Oh, my condolences." And goes to fucking dinner and tells me that's not what it was like, and it was it was exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
Because 2 fucking hours later you're like, oh, I can come over now.
Yeah.
Oh, now you can come over whenever, now you have time.
Right.
But at this point in time, you couldn't have dropped anything and everything that you had planned to come to be with me.
Right.
And that was for me also, I think, I'm like,
yeah.
I don't think that, I just don't know about this relationship anymore, because that's not, for me, what best friends do.
Right.
So, but, going back to being like having expectations of somebody, or having like, for me, that's a standard in a relationship, in a friendship. I mean, like, of being there for somebody in really hard times.
Yeah, and I mean, and I know too, like, whatever you say or write, to me, I know that I can count on that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example of the one other friend that I have. who's also Scorpion. They have the same birthdays, dude.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Because when you said that, now it clicked. I'm like, who? Huh?
Um,
You have other friends?
Yeah.
Don't.
Well,
Don't.
She's more of an acquaintance, but anyway.
Yeah.
So when
That's why you're going to her wedding.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to her wedding.
But you can also go to acquaintance wedding. Because you
But
know
anyway.
them through a friend.
Well, I mean, in my defense,
yeah.
I said yes to the wedding last year. If I had to do it again today, I wouldn't have said yes. But anyway, so when I was in the hospital, right? It's gonna be three months ago on Tuesday, dude. Crazy. So when I was in the hospital, she texted me, yeah, when was I going to be there, blah, blah, blah. She was going to come by.
But you were there for 4 days.
She lives like, I'm not shitting you, 15 minutes away from the hospital.
Nice.
Right? Maybe 20 with traffic. Yeah, so the first day I was there and I had the surgery, right? And the next day she texted, yeah, she really wanted to come by, but she has a cold. Didn't sound like she had a cold, but whatever. So she wasn't going to come see me. And I just responded, yeah, thanks. I don't need you to come see me if you're sick. Like,
excuse me. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Girl, I have the same situation. So.
Like, if you're gonna lie, at least text so I can't hear in your voice that you're not really sick. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway.
I know I came the next day because I was in Uva actually wrote me like, she's doing good. She's tired. She'll text you tomorrow because I had been waiting a day. I'm like, what's going on with her? Right. And you're like, I'm from narcosis, and because it had an emergency came in and you had to wait longer for your surgery and blah blah blah. Oh no, you had texted me. I'm gonna go in soon, but whatever.
Right.
And I came in the next day. Didn't I come? No, I came 2 days. No, 1 day.
No, you came the next day. Because I had surgery on Monday and you were there on Tuesday.
But I didn't come 2 days. I came 1 day.
No, you came 1 day.
I thought I was gonna come. But like. Or, girl, I need a ride to the apartment, to the hospital. Yeah, I'll take you. I'll pick you up too. And the day that I got picked up, that I was supposed to leave, and it was like, maybe I'll leave in the morning. I don't know. You had to go to dinner too. Like, and you were like, oh yeah, let me come pick you up. And you arranged it that, you drove separately so you could come pick me up, and then you went to the restaurant to eat. And and I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. We got because if you hadn't come pick me up, I'm going to take the train home. I don't know. I would have found a way home, but, so the 2 day, I mean, I know I was only 2 days in the hospital, but, like, you were like, oh, we're going to go on a motorcycle ride and we'll come visit you. Like, we'll just come that way anyway, on a motorcycle ride. I thought, oh, really cool.
Yeah.
One other person of my friends was like, yeah, I'll come visit you.
Yeah.
And it was a half an hour drive or 40-minute drive for her, you know?
Right.
Oh, let me come visit you. Only you and one other person. Well, my daughters came to visit me too, but that were like, oh, let me come visit you in the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, okay, people have lives, kids, family, work, whatever, but if there's something you want to do, you make it, make it happen. But
exactly. Make time for it or whatever, I know when my husband
when you're in the hospital, you're like so bored that you actually like be like, I really would like somebody to come visit me so I can go. I mean, I went for walks anyway, but like when you were there with my other friend, because you happened to be at the same time,
right?
Oh, that was so nice, sitting outside and just like not being in my freaking room the whole day, right? So it's just a really nice distraction anyway. It was so nice. It was also a nice day out too.
Yeah, it was a nice day. We had really good weather. Yeah. That's true. But I know what you mean, like especially if you don't have like any major pain, you know what I mean, and you're mobile, you can move around, and you're like, you're so bored in the hospital, you're like, you can only read so much, or you can't even really watch TV, it's like,
so you can watch TV, but you can't hear what's going on because they don't have any sound,
right?
Because there's 2 other people in the room with you,
right?
Or their people come and they're visiting. You can only read so much, and then scroll on your phone, and then take a nap because I was like, fuck, I'm tired. Take a nap, wake up. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at anybody for not coming to visit me. But
I mean, I'm not mad either. But I also feel like if it wasn't your intention, then don't even say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for your instance, she's like, yeah, I want to come visit you.
Yeah. She was like, oh, I'm gonna come by. How long are you gonna be there? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there 4 days. And she was like, oh yeah, then I'll come one of the days and whatever and blah blah blah. And I mean, she didn't have to, and that's for me like, don't be fake. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to pretend to be my friend or my best friend or whatever, if you don't want to, you know? Yeah, but so, I think that's like, with her, it's not that we've outgrown each other. I mean, we were never, with this one friend, and you know which one I mean, we were never like really, really close. It's just we have certain things in common, and it's mostly motorcycles.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And so, sorry, I just saw something weird flicker on the screen, so I was like, what was that? Did it stop recording? No, it's still recording. We're good. Yeah. But I know with her, I don't have a safe connection.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like I do with you. And since I have you now, and I have told you already, and I've said it on previous podcasts, you're stuck with me. Yeah. So, don't make me get out the baseball bat. Be like, I want to go. Dunk.
Not now. You're not ever.
Oh,
like, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, there was so this is a total tangent, but I think there's an episode on Criminal Minds, I think it was. And this is like years and years and years ago. So there was this woman, and she had a best friend. And the best friend she had a boyfriend and was like more involved with the boyfriend.
But you told me if I got a boyfriend, you're gonna be at my window.
I would be like, what are you doing? Like, why haven't you texted me? Right? And so what she did was, the psycho best friend took the best friend and she fucking broke her knees so she couldn't walk, and then she tied her to a bed.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, so I know how it works.
I know how morbid your mind is now, dude. Like, no, but like,
you'd be like, oh, I gotta go now, and I'd be like, dunk with the baseball bat, and then when you wake up, you'd be like, I'm still here, and I'm like,
you know that one movie?
You said you wanted to stay here.
You know that one movie?
And then you passed out.
Yeah, that one movie with Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
What's that one movie called? And she does the same thing.
Yeah.
And she breaks his fucking.
I can't remember the name of
an
it.
author for a book that I can't remember what the movie's called. I just know Kathy Bates is in it. Anybody out there listening to this probably also anybody who knows this movie. I can't remember the movie's name, but that's the same thing. Well, kind of like the same thing.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. She was like tying him to the bed and making him like, or there's also people who make people sick.
Right. Yeah.
It's like so they can't.
There's a name for that though. Is it not Munchausen syndrome?
That's for parents with the kids who make them sick. But there's also, I'm pretty sure there's a name for that, like,
right, where you make somebody
fucked up in the head. That's the name for that.
Exactly. There you go. Fucked up in the
But
head.
no,
syndrome.
girl, like you say to me that you're stuck with me, I'm gonna say the same thing. You're stuck with me for life.
Yep.
But that's what I want to say. Like,
you're stuck with me till we get burned at the stake again.
Yeah, again. I want to. That's for me. This bullet point, whatever. Finding safe connections. That's the right word, bullet point. Finding the safe connections, and this is probably like after healing, friendship after healing, finding safe connections.
Yeah.
Finally being able, like,
girl, I can say whatever I want, and you won't ever be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, you might say, like, I have like morbid, fantasies
I'll be like, damn,
or whatever,
girl,
but
okay, but thanks for sharing.
Your thoughts. They're like,
me.
good to know. I'm gonna sit next to the door next time. See, that's why I was thinking.
I'll be like,
so I put you in the corner.
You just keep inching away. You keep inching away. But but also knowing and being safe in this relationship,
right? I mean, I know that, like, if I have the need to, or like whatever, like, how often do we send each other like voice messages? And something will trigger me or whatever, and I'll start crying, and I know that it's okay, and I would never have done that before. I mean, we talked about, like, when we first started this podcast, right? Like, me crying before was a no-go because that was a sign of weakness, right? I mean, it didn't matter why I was crying. Like, we've even talked about, like, sometimes you get so mad you get tears in your eyes, and I'd be like, right? Like, because you're like, you don't nobody see me, you know? I'm like, I'm fucking mad as a bull, but, you know, you won't see me because I got tears in my eyes, you know? And now I'm like, I don't care, you know?
I love how I can be like, girl, I just need to vent. And then you're like, "La, la, 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 la," and you vent, and you're like, okay, cool, that was good.
Right.
And I know
it's almost like our road rage, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey Jennifer, how you doing? Motherfucker, use your blinker! Sorry, girl, there's some stupid idiot in front of me.
Every time, dude. If me or her, we're doing them like she'll be like, oh girl, this happened at work today, la la la. Fucking use the right pedal. Stop braking. And I'm like, and then you're like, yeah, and then la 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 la. Like you just go back to being like, la la la. No, but like, being able to just be like, I just need to vent, and that's it.
Right.
And then you feel better after doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you're like, or you'd be like, so girl, I needed a vent, and I'm like, cool, because I feel like that's cool. That's
I know. I mean, like, how many times before I left my old job did I
Oh.
send you messages and be like, girl, I'm not trying to trigger you, but I just need to vent, and then I'd be like, this motherfucker, blah 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 blah, you know? And
I'm like, I'm not biased or anything.
I'm like, you know, yeah, I know. And I'd be like, yeah, it was just because I needed to vent and get it out, you know.
And
but
then,
I knew that I could do that with you.
and
you
I'm not gonna take it like personal. You're not mad at me. You're venting.
Right.
And I'm also I'm just venting before any message. Girl, I need to vent. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And then I also feel better because it's out. And then you're gonna probably listen to the message, and you're just gonna be like, okay, cool, good that you could get off your chest, or you'll be like, yeah, that motherfucker, you know, you're gonna be right there by my back.
I need to get my bat.
Exactly. And my baseball bat's ready to go, girl. You're like pop, pop, pop. Yeah.
It's a nice lightweight aluminum one too. I'll have to show it to you. Anyway,
have you ever seen the video though? Like you should put a sock on the baseball bat.
No.
So because you're gonna swing and somebody's probably gonna try, and then they'll get the sock, and
Girl,
then you're gonna pop.
They should fucking try, man.
I wish a motherfucker
That's just
would.
gonna piss me off, man.
Try to grab the bat.
It'd be like shooting a bulldog with a BB gun. That's just gonna fucking piss me off.
And then they'll grab the sock, and then as they're grabbing the sock, they're probably falling or something. And then you can just like get the bat.
Smack them in the knee. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So this is friendships after healing.
There you go.
Outgrowing people. Also, there's for me there a period of loneliness during growth, or just saying like I have a few select friends that I actually have contact with on WhatsApp, or texting and voice messages, and then finding the safe connection between us, that I know that I'm safe with you, that I can be myself, I can be funny, because you're like, you're so funny, girl.
You are.
And I'm like, yeah, because like I can actually truly be my authentic true self around you. And even if you are to me, and I know I'm like, okay, she's got some crazy thoughts, but
me,
chill. I'm chill. I got it. That's you. That's who you are. You know. I'm not gonna judge you for your morbid. I'm just joking. Like I love those things sometimes, like on Instagram, where it's like me and you, like friendships, and you're like in all black, and I'm over here the unicorn.
She's all like colored and like rainbows.
Yeah. And you're over here like Morticia from the Addams Family, just black and coffins and black curtains,
black roses. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what this.
And black carpet too? No, dark gray.
Gray. yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So some more relationship recovery. I'm like, I don't know. I still feel like, okay, maybe I've gotten better at setting boundaries. If that's something I need to like just.
I know I've gotten better because I have a couple weeks ago I had a situation at work where there was a couple people out sick, and I had asked for the Saturday off, and I had the Saturday off because we were going to do the motorcycle training, right? And it was the day before, and my manager was like, can you at least take one shift tomorrow? We're like really low on people because I think like 2 or 3 people were out sick. And inside for like a millisecond, I felt like this twinge of guilt. And then I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
You had already
We've already paid for the whole day. I can't, it's not close to anywhere here, so I can't, like, do a shift and then go and, I can't do that. And when I was telling her this, she had this look on her face like she was really disappointed, and it didn't bother me at all. Yeah, you know what I mean?
This is so
like, but that would before, dude, that would have like eaten me up inside, you know?
Yeah, but what is? I mean, it's not like it wasn't important for you, but also you had said this when you started working there. I already have this and this and this planned,
right?
And they were like, yeah, okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I know what you mean. I know how you feel. Like, I'm in a group. Can you take over this class? Can you do this class? Hey, Jennifer, can you stay an hour and a half after your one class to take over? I'm like, hell no, I can't. Like at first, I felt like really bad. Like I'm not being able to cover anybody's classes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my decision if I want to or not.
Right. Exactly.
I didn't get that decision when I worked at the other place.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take it over. It was part of my job.
Right.
And now I get to decide if I want to take over a class or not. And I just, I can't for other reasons of making too much money. If that's a thing, but and for the second thing, dude, I don't want to I'm not doing a class from 8 to 9 o'clock. By the time I get home, no, sorry.
Yeah.
It's too late for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Those are boundaries for me, for my work, and because in the beginning of doing classes and being a fitness trainer, dude, I was I would take over and substitute any class. People are sick. I had 10 classes in a week of my own. I was like, yeah, I need the money. I need the class. I need to do. And now I'm like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're not going to take over every class. You're not going to do every class. You're not going to overextend yourself,
Right.
So,
right.
But I get it. Yeah. You at the beginning, I was just kind of like, oh, no, I can't because blah, blah, blah. That's a valid reason just to say no.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to explain yourself to.
I read something the other day. I don't even remember how long ago it's been, but I think I shared this with you. No is a complete sentence. Like all you have to do is say no, and you don't have to give a reason why.
There's this lady on TikTok. She's an HR contractor, like outside, and she does skits where she's on the phone, but you can't hear the other person. She just anyway. She's saying like this one job where they're like they have to give a reason why they're sick. You need sick leave, but explain why. Bro, the fuck, I'm sick.
Right.
How I need sick leave? Why? Because I'm sick.
Right.
What
more explanation do you need?
But
you need a video of me puking over the toilet, or
You should not have to give a reason. Also, okay, you're sick. What do you have, dude? I don't need to tell you I'm have fucking diarrhea. I'm sick. Who wants to give all this explanation?
Right.
But you have like so many days. It's it's in your package. You get so many days of vacation. Hey, boss, I need this and this. I need vacation. You have to give a
right.
If I'm going to the Maldives or I'm gonna sit at home and read a book, that doesn't matter to you, because this is a part of my package. I don't have to tell you why I need my days off. I get so many days off, and now I want these many days off.
Right, and that's it.
And you I need to give a reason.
I tell you,
why.
One of my healing growth things that have happened since I had my surgery is, here in Germany, you don't have to give a reason when you're sick. You just call your boss and say, I'm sick. The sick leave paper has been sent out because it's all digital now. They taught me a lesson. That's the law. I don't have to give a reason. I can guarantee you, no future my current employer or future employer is going to ever know again why I'm sick. I'm sick. That's it. Finished.
If the doctor says, are you sure you're going to be out like this many weeks? If that's what it says on this note, and that's what my doctor says, I can get 6 or I can get 8 weeks. That's it. My doctor's telling me I can have up to this many weeks of sick leave.
Right.
That's what's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because...
And obviously, if I'm getting that long of a sick leave, then it must be something, you know...
a little bit more serious than a cold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we got motherfuckers, you know, who used to work, they get like 2 weeks. And they had to go...
After they were on vacation for 3.
Yeah, or, you know, they you know... It's kind of cool here, though. Sometimes you go to the doctor. I mean, my doctor, my general practitioner or whatever, they'll be like, yeah, they'll usually give you up to 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that, they'll be like, okay, you need to come back and we're gonna. So like, if I wanted to, and I'm like, I'm sick, and they'll be like, yeah, how many days you need?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like, yeah, okay, 2 weeks, and
right.
they'll get up to that. But like anything like after that, they're gonna be like, yeah, okay, come back. Well, but they're pretty good. Like I'm like 2 weeks, but sometimes you know you do need. If you're really sick with bad cold, you need a good 14 days to recover.
Yeah, definitely.
Know? But you know, so also to the when that one person was sick and he came back. And he got sick again because he hadn't, you know, taken enough time off. So then he got sick again, and then he was out another 2 weeks. So you also have that to consider, you know. But yeah, that's really crazy when somebody's on vacation for 2 weeks and then they come back and
they're sick. Anyway,
so that was our episode of friendships after healing.
Exactly.
I mean, this is of course our story. Maybe there's other stories out there. Maybe you have similar stories of, you know, outgrowing people.
Or finding a connection during your journey.
That safe connection.
Right.
Yeah. It's like all...
I know, it's like, I don't know why, but I think it's just because...
It'd be like...
We'll see.
I'm like, what's going on?
The feedback loop on our monitor is, for some reason... I don't even know the word in English. Damn it! Chingo.
That's not English either.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I got it in 2 other languages in my head, but I can't get it in
German?
English. No,
I know German.
I got it
Spanish?
in Turkish and Spanish.
But like always, like I said, if you have any similar, you know, if you outgrown relationships, find that very safe connection, outgrowing people, let us know in the comments. And thanks for listening.
Exactly. As always, all our social media, I'll put it in the comment box or the description box below. And we appreciate your listening, liking, and commenting. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.